The show, we discuss more about Darth Maul.
I was hoping for Kenobi.
Why is he talking like that?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lost Cantina, the only podcast that talks about Darth Maul all the freaking time, at least for this month. I'm one of your hosts, Jaden.
And I'm Kevin.
And I'm Kevin.
So, yeah. Maul. Again.
One more Maul for the road until we talk about the Maul show that comes out in like 3 weeks or whatever.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Maul the
So,
wannabe, I don't know, crime lord.
Listen, he wears a lot of hats. Today, we're going to be talking about Maul, the dictator.
Well, hold on. He is a dictator, but is he? It's funny because I think I
as well.
texted you, Jaden.
Not just a dictator.
Jaden, I texted you the other day a tweet I saw, and it was like something about like, Maul being like, he might be an asshole and a piece of shit, but he's not a fascist because he hates Palpatine. He's like, whoa, hold on. I might be a crime lord, but I'm not a fascist.
It's very similar to the Joker being like, listen, I'm an American first. I hate Nazis.
Yeah. So, well, hello everybody. We're going to talk about season 7 of Clone Wars and what Maul did in season 7, which I wouldn't say, and we were discussing this right before we were recording, but I don't think a lot happens. But I know, Kevin, you definitely thought a lot happens. We're gonna the rundown we're gonna do is we're gonna discuss a little bit of that comic book we mentioned last episode, because there is some stuff that happens to Maul in that comic, and then we're gonna move into Clone Wars, because the stuff that happens in that comic, at least you want to know what happens, because the thing is, when we start season 7, Maul's just like back. And, he was supposed to be captured by Palpatine at the end of season 6. And so all of a sudden he's just there. And you're like, what the fuck? What's going on? So we're going to discuss that here in a sec. And then we're going to go into what actually happens in season 7. But before we get into it, we're going to do that housekeeping that you all love to hear. You can email us at thelostcantinapod@gmail.com. You can find us on all your socials at The Lost Cantina. We're having a lot of fun. I'm excited for this Maul stuff, man. I actually am excited for this discussion because it is one of my favorite Maul moments that happens in season 7.
Favorite Maul moment.
It is one of my favorite Maul moments, man. Like it's pretty cool. It's funny, and I think Sam Witwer fucking kills it, man. He's great.
Oh, he's always good. He's a legend.
They also the cool thing about this, like, it's just right at the bat when we talk about this, they brought back both Mauls for these episodes.
Yeah.
Which I think is really, really cool. Which we'll get into that in a little bit. But I do want to talk about this real quick, because Kevin's going to talk to us about the comic book series. But do you guys know how fucking clean this whole thing would be if they just didn't do the Darth Sidious episode for this whole thing? If they just, like, not addressed that part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
If they had just gotten rid of it, they'd be like, oh, cool, that's why. But now you're sitting here like, wait, Maul was kidnapped, and now he's back in charge of it. How does that make any sense?
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest plot point that they needed to get across was that his brother dies. And that was the big, like, story beat that they wanted to get across, if that makes sense. Like, it is a story beat, right? Like, he loses his apprentice / his brother, which the brother-apprentice dynamic is a little bit different than, the regular Sith dynamic. So, it's a story beat for sure for him, because now it's like he has nothing to lose, right? So, besides his life. I do agree, though. I'm like, why do we need to do this and not address? They should have addressed it.
How funny would it have been, though, if they had just killed Savage off screen, and they'd be like, wait, don't you have a brother? Be like, what? Who?
I feel like
My
the
brother
fans would
died.
really hate that. That would be something that would be a huge slap in the face
Dude,
because
the
I mean,
fans
I don't know how
didn't
many
like
Savage.
Savage when he showed up in the first place. I remember people being, "What the fuck?"
I actually thought Savage was kind of cool. I didn't think he was going to be a direct replacement to Maul, but I did like the like Asajj Ventress replacement that he was supposed to be, but he was just a freaking brute. Like he sucked at his job. Like his first mission was to capture some diplomat from some planet, so that and then he was supposed to bring him to to Dooku so that Dooku can be like, hey, I can release you if you let us like occupy your planet with my droids and my entire army I have here. But like that fell through because Savage just freaking snapped his neck with the Force while trying to stealthily capture him. He just barges in. He's like, come here. So, and it's cool because I thought that a cool detail was that that race of that planet was actually Watto's race. I think. Pretty sure that was Watto.
The Toydarians.
Yeah. So it was like, hey, what do you want with me? Hey, you gonna kill me? Hey, you want me to come to you? I don't think so. I'm gonna fly away now. And then he just like snaps his neck.
Yeah. Jeez.
That was a good impression.
All right, so let's get into it. We're gonna get into the Maul comic first.
Maul. Darth
So
Maul,
Kev,
son of
I'll let
Dathomir.
you lead that part.
Darth Maul, son of
Yeah, so I'll let you lead that comic book aspect, right?
Okay,
now.
so so I want to let you guys know just now, right now, is that I actually have not. I didn't read the whole thing like entirely, but I do know like the minutia and like the key points of what happens to Maul there, and how he basically returns back to Mandalore as the ruler. So after his duel with Darth Sidious at the end of season 6, Sidious shocks the crap out of him, and that's like the last time we kind of see him like in the show or on TV. And then for some reason, they continued the story in a comic book from I think 2017. It's called Maul, Son of Dathomir, and Palpatine takes Maul to a planet. I actually forgot the name of the planet, but he takes him to another planet that has like a prison on it, on top of like this big mountain, and he imprisons him there. And he uses Maul to lure Mother Talzin and draw out the Night Sisters to him so that they can be ambushed by General Grievous, Count Dooku, and I think Sidious was there as well. Because basically he's basically trying to Sidious is trying to actually no, not Sidious, but Dooku was there and he's torturing Maul, and he's basically just trying to get Maul to spill the beans on like where Mother Talzin is, and if he doesn't, he wants to manipulate him to call Mother Talzin to him to like save him, because he thinks like, oh okay, Dooku thinks like if I just keep Maul here, he'll eventually just reach out to Mother Talzin and the Night Sisters and the Night Brothers, because Savage is dead. He thinks that
Typical Sith. He's trying to screw over everybody.
and at this
Yeah,
point,
makes
Dooku
sense.
like doesn't take into account the fact that he is the ruler of a planet right now. I don't even think Dooku knows that he's the ruler of a planet and has like the backing of the Death Watch and stuff.
Do you think it matters to him?
So wait, so Palpatine didn't tell him?
I don't think so.
How
I don't think so.
fucking funny would it be if Palpatine didn't tell him that? There was something I meant to tell you. Oh, right. He has
purpose.
incredible amounts of resources.
Okay, so anyway, he is, like I said before, he's tortured and he's transferred between Separatist custody, and he's basically forced to play, Sidious's political chess game at that point. Let's see here. So I'm looking through my notes right here. So basically, Dooku's attempts to get information out of him fails, and the senator, I think he's the senator. He's the senator that Maul manipulated in season 6, the one who was basically doing shady deals on Mandalore that Duchess Satine was trying to stop, and he was in prison. So he's basically like that senator is like the actual ruler of Mandalore. He's actually pulling the political strings.
Oh
I forgot his name, though. It's not Gar Saxon, because that he's in season 7. He's like one of the head of the Death Watch.
It was it. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
So he's like, hey, our king, he's been captured. We need to go save him. Okay. So basically, what they do is they just go to the planet. break Maul out of his prison and take him back to Mandalore. Because Dooku and Grievous, they don't know what the hell is happening. They don't know about the Death Watch. They're just like, what the fuck? We were expecting Mother Taliesin to be here. What the fuck is all these Mandalorians? And they're fucking like balls to the wall, like fighting hard for Maul because like they
Nice.
you know, he's their savior basically. He's their
Yeah.
he's their, you know, Tar Vizsla basically. So they break him out, take him back to Mandalore. And that's when we see him again in season 7, when Ahsoka goes over there and faces him during the siege of Mandalore.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Well,
I don't know why they didn't just
welcome
show
to
us this
Siege
in
of
the
Mandalore.
show. I don't know why it had to be
Yeah.
a comic.
They should have.
And maybe it was because Disney was in the midst of acquiring.
This is
Star
probably
Wars at
around
that
the acquisition time when they cut all the corners
Yeah.
with all of the. They're like we're gonna dude, that whole situation is so messy because it was like Disney wasn't sure if an animated show had legs, so they greenlit an entirely different animated show on a different network with less money.
Wait, Disney, the company that's the studio that is known for its animation, doesn't think an animation show with what is
Because they
going
canceled,
on.
they canceled
sense.
Clone Wars and then they greenlit Rebels, and then Rebels did really, really well with less money. And then they're like, you know, maybe we should do this Clone Wars thing that you guys keep talking about. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, now that we have our guy back on Mandalore, basically what happens is he orchestrates this whole war between the Mandalorians to what he thinks is going to happen is Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker are going to show up. Does he want to kill Obi-Wan still? Yeah, but he's been having these wackadoo visions, and it's all about Anakin. And he keeps seeing the name Skywalker. And for some reason, he is not tuned into the news. He doesn't know who Anakin is, but everybody else fucking knows who these guys are because they're famous war heroes. But he keeps seeing the name Skywalker all over the place in his visions. So he thinks that he can lure the two of them into.
Do you guys think that Maul's
the
just like
Mandalorian
looking
war.
slightly to the left anytime the holonet shows up a picture of Anakin Skywalker?
The Force is just like
Yeah,
dictating
he's
him
just
to
like
turn his head all the time?
like Anakin's right here, just like, who is this Anakin Skywalker?
Well, this
Someone
is
mute
this
that
before
TV.
he
I'm
gets
trying to
his
think.
visions? Is this before he gets his visions?
Yeah.
No, we're saying just in general. Yeah, before
Yeah.
he doesn't know. That'd be funny. So basically, he orchestrates this like drama. He is the Lord of Drama at this point, and he actually wants to kill Anakin because he thinks that if he can kill Anakin, he knows that Skywalker is being groomed by the by Palpatine to be his apprentice. Like he's aware of it. He's kind of figured it out. So basically that's the whole thing. He's a Lord of Drama right now, trying to bring them over so he can kill him. But instead, he's greeted by Ahsoka. And so they're in the sewers running around chasing him. And Ahsoka's just like, I got to stop this. We got to put Maul to justice, yada, yada. She's like, okay, we're going to do this. And they meet up in the sewers. She's got, she's given Rex and like his crew, they're like kind of on loan a little bit. She's an ambassador essentially because she's not a true Jedi anymore. There's all that shit's going on. And so she's the one going out there. And when he sees her, he's like, wait a minute. Who the hell is this
Citizen
girl?
Tano?
Yeah, he's like, what? Who are you, lady? You're just some random
Well,
kid.
actually, he
'Cause she's
does
still
know.
technically a kid.
He does know who she is. He says, "Ahsoka Tano,
Yeah, he's
is it?
heard
Your
it.
name is not familiar to me." But he knows her name, I guess, from the visions.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't know. Like, she's not familiar to him, but he knows her name.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's implied that he's seen her in his visions of Anakin, probably because she's always around. She was around Anakin all the time because she's his Padawan.
We should mention the big catalyst for this entire adventure is like Ahsoka and the relationship she has with those troops. Like I do think it's very
They
interesting.
love her.
They love her.
so much.
They paint her face on their faces.
Oh, yeah.
on their
And-
helmets. It'd
yeah.
be pretty wild if they took it off and it's also on their freaking. I painted my whole body for you, Ahsoka. Look,
Yeah.
takes off all their freaking clothes.
Someone get him checked in immediately. The pervert gene is on this one.
I worship you, Ahsoka.
But like, think of the dynamic though. You got the Death Watch. They paint their helmets to be Maul, and then the Ahsoka troopers paint
They,
their.
they give themselves horns too.
It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
So it's crazy. It's like two. Oh, it's like some freaking Viking shit. It's like two different like Viking clans just clashing in this siege where it's just like a bunch of like evil horned men and then alien face painted warriors fighting against each other. It's so cool. It's so cool. It's like peak cinematic.
They're
Star Wars.
cosplaying as their leaders.
Yeah, basically.
So yeah, the war is happening, and he meets up with her, and he's like, "Ah, shit, this ain't what I wanted." So they end up meeting again in the throne room, and they have this big fight. And he's actually starting to convince her. He's like, "No, this is why I wanted to do what this whole war is." And he's like explaining to her the purpose of everything. And he talks about Skywalker. He talks about Palpatine. He doesn't mention him by name, but he goes Darth Sidious, because everybody now kind of knows the name Darth Sidious. They've heard it. And he's like trying to explain it to her, and he kind of convinces her almost like he's like, "No, like join me. Like I'm trying to stop what's happening right now." But then when he mentions that the way he's gonna stop it is to kill Anakin, she's like, "No, never mind. That's not how we do this. That's not how we do these things."
He's like,
And
"You lie. You're
he's
just
like-
lying to me."
Yeah.
You know.
He's pissed. He's like actually really fucking mad about it. But they have this like crazy fight. It's a sick as fuck fight. And the way it looks like, you know, because you have not only like these Viking factions, right? You have technically, if you think about it, like two outcast apprentices fighting each other, right? Like you have two apprentices that are no longer apprentices. He's technically not really considered a Sith anymore.
Nope.
He doesn't have an apprentice. He's not somebody's apprentice. She's not a Jedi anymore. These are just Force users with lightsabers fighting. And it is, I mean, if you think about it, it is pretty cool because there's no factions behind them, really, truly.
Well, I mean,
Besides their armies that are fighting. I mean factions in terms of like there's no Sith, there's no Jedi,
Well,
that kind of stuff.
yeah, like I guess like politically, yeah, but like in terms of just like emotionally, Ahsoka cares about her clones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
I do believe that her regiment, it's not the 501st, it's that other regiment. It's not Kenobi's either. It's another clone detachment.
It's the 501st, but specifically I think it's like the 212th Company. It's a detachment of the 501st Legion.
Oh, it's a detachment of the 5. Okay.
Yeah, because that's why because technically the leader on the mission is technically Commander Rex.
Yeah.
He is.
But he's letting Ahsoka
Yes,
dictate.
she is a
going on.
combat, like she's a consultant. She's a battlefield consultant essentially in this mission. But because
You pull the trigger and then bolts come out. That's the consultant.
on paper, Commander Rex is leading a special military operation. She's just there as a consultant, but in reality, she's in charge.
Yeah. So they fight out of the throne room. She pushes him out of the throne room, and then they're on like basically his whole thing is like, okay, we're done. This is not how I wanted it to go. And he just abandons the planet. That's his attempt. He's abandoning the planet. And the Mandalorians are like, help us. He's like, nah, you're on your own, kid. I'm done. Well, and he's like on the pillars on the top of the, like, where basically he's on the pillars at the top of the dome of the city. And he's going to have the ship come. And he's like, all right, I'm leaving. I'll see you guys. Yeah, this was a botched job. I'll start another one. It's really funny, and actually, if you think about it,
they're the
like,
332nd Company. I want to make sure we got that correct.
Okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
Well, Kev, did you skip over the whole part where he's like trying so hard to convince her to join him, and
we talked about that. Okay. We already talked about that. Yeah, he's trying to convince her, but the moment he says, "I'm gonna do this by killing Anakin," she's like, "No."
Okay.
She's like, "No, that's not happening." That's when she pushes him out the window, and so she's following him, and he's like, I'm out, I'm done, this is silly, I give up. And so
Garsax is like, sir, help us. And he's like, help yourself to death, bitch.
Yeah, he's like, we're done. Nah, I'm over it. Lost cause, kid. Never mind. He never really gave a shit. Like, that's the whole thing. But she stops him, and they have this super cool fucking fight, man. They're fighting on the like
beams. And it's all choreographed.
The beam.
Like, with live.
Yeah.
With
So, like,
action.
everything in the throne room. Yeah,
Okay.
everything in the throne room and everything, I think, on those beams was choreographed live action, right?
Ray
It was,
Park
like,
did the mocap for, I think, right?
Ray Park and some other stunt, like combat expert woman fought with him. I don't know her name.
That's cool. I think that's super
behind-the-scenes
cool that they
footage
did
of it,
that.
too. It's pretty sick. So, and he still got it. You know, he still got it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was kind of cool because you could kind of see like him through the movements.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Ray himself.
Like it. Yeah, like you can see that it's him through the movements because it's his movements. You know, like that's kind of cool. So I thought it was sick when I watched it. I was enjoying it. I've seen it.
So you can
times,
see
but
like
it was
you can
really
like see like different swings and techniques from episode 1 when he fought Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty
I
sick.
can do that.
So they're on this beam and they're having this conversation and he's losing, but then he starts winning. And I remember, Kevin, we watched it a couple weeks ago and I was like, bro, just cut the whole beam off and let her fall. And he like wasn't doing that. He like wouldn't, even she was like trying, and I'm like, what's happening? If your goal is to defeat this person, she's on a beam, you're on a beam, the beam is cut, she's falling down. Just slice the rest of the beam and don't have we don't need a monologue.
She eventually
but of course,
does slice it. They just drew it out so long.
I also think like
and also she wanted to capture Maul. She didn't want to kill him.
That's the thing. Is like,
no, I'm talking about Maul. He should have killed her. If he wanted to actually defeat her and escape, he should have
here's
just
the
let
big
her
thing
fall.
is that I think honestly, like based on given Maul's mindset at the time, I think he was like even to the last second was trying to convince her, like
Yeah,
just
he
hey just he's like at one point he's like, you know, maybe if I brute force this shit, maybe if I beat the shit out of her, she'll come around to seeing my way. And it's like, no, that's not really how that's gonna work. Meanwhile, while he's talking, Ahsoka's like, he's not just a madman. There's something behind the words that he's speaking. If I capture him, I can figure out what those words are.
She knows he believes what he's saying. That is for sure. He definitely believes what he's saying. He's not lying. He's an excellent liar, and he is known for being a liar. But she knows. She's like, she can almost sense it. She's like, he's telling the truth.
She also knows that he's telling the truth because, when Maul escapes into the sewers the first time, she has a meeting with Bo and Rex and Obi-Wan. And Obi-Wan's just, and then Ahsoka's like, Obi-Wan, like, Maul said all this crazy shit about a Darth Sidious. Like, who the hell is that? And what's going on? And then Obi-Wan's like, can you guys just fuck off so I can talk to Ahsoka? And they're just like, all right. They just walk away. And then he's like, I'll tell you what the council. And then Obi-Wan's like, I'll tell you what the council suspects. That he is the Sith Lord that has been playing both sides of the Clone Wars. And that he's somewhere and he's someone, but he left out the fact that, you know, no, he didn't leave it out. He said, me and Anakin were sent to, you know, obviously rescue Palpatine like right before in the beginning of the Maul section of season 7. And then he was like, all information that we can get out of Dooku is basically gone. And she's like, why? And then everyone's like, well, Anakin, you know, decapitated him. He's dead.
Hey, episode 3's happening right now, Ahsoka.
Yeah. Get hyped.
Yeah.
So anyway,
this actually,
I gotta
this
get to
all occurs during
Utapau.
episode 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. He even says, he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go after Grievous.
Yeah, but here's the kicker, right? Why didn't Obi-Wan just say, like, hey, Ahsoka, you know what? Now that I think about it, in episode 2, Dooku just told me who it was. Flat out. He just fucking told me who it was while he had me strung up in this in like, you know, force field handcuffs. on Geonosis.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
"What? Remember that
Yeah.
scene when Dooku was like, oh, what if I told
Yeah.
you the Sith Lord is actually freaking basically Palpatine?" And he's just like, "What? No,
I don't believe
no."
you.
And then episode 3,
Don't believe
episode
you.
3, okay, Yoda's like, "The dark side surrounds the Chancellor," and then you know, freaking Mason.
Obi-Wan just does his own.
Mason and everyone else is just like, nah. And then, well, nah. And like, so it's like, they're just incompetent fools. I'm sorry. Like,
and here's Maul being like, let me tell you some shit.
yeah, exactly.
And
Because of my
so,
dreams.
Basically, exactly. And he starts freaking out towards the end of it. They capture him.
Fucking kill me.
And when
This
is my
Then
favorite
he
part.
dies
'cause he's-
Dangling with the Force. Hogan's like, stop jiggling
Yeah,
around,
this
Maul.
is my
God.
This is my literal favorite part of him screaming, being like, just let me die. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna burn. And he's like fucking freaking the fuck out. Because in his mind, he's like, just kill me. Just let me die so I don't have to deal. Just kill me now. And it's crazy to think of a Sith, or at least former Sith, whatever, to be being okay with death. Being like, yeah, take me out. I can't do this shit. Because he's that scared of Palpatine, I think, which is like, whoa.
And Kev also just loves
so
that,
yeah,
like,
he,
freaking classic, like, fighting for my life over the top Sam Raimi dialogue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This episode was not
And
written by
so
Sam Raimi. I'm
after-
just saying the style of it.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't. No. So after this, he is locked up in like what happens to
It's,
Han Solo. Like he's in
It's a Jedi. It's
nice
a
little
Jedi
cell.
prison that was created by the Mandalorian, so we could assume it's made of Beskar.
Yeah.
And it's also like the
I'm
last
pretty
one, and
sure,
it was
yeah.
from when the Jedi and Mandalorians had a war.
Yeah, it was like
against each other.
they
Yeah,
pulled
they
that shit
talk
out of
about
a
that.
museum on Mandalore. Be like, hey, this thing will hold a Jedi.
Yeah, Bo's like, let me just blow the dust off.
Yep.
It's just a few thousand years old. That's
Yeah.
it. You know.
It's really cool because it has a little like viewing port where you can see his eyes and shit. So it's creepy as shit.
The
Sorry,
music
I- I
also. If you noticed, there was like
It's
just a low
ethereal.
growl the whole time when he was
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
like loaded onto the ship. So you're just sitting there. You're just like, it's happening. It's happening.
And the other thing too is it covers his mouth so he can't talk. Like and because we know he talks, it covers his mouth and it has a like Mandalorian helmet on the front and stuff. Like it's super sick looking, and he looks
Oh yeah.
pissed.
He looks.
He
pissed, and
also looks
worried.
terrified
Yeah,
when
he
he-
looks very worried in it.
Yeah,
He's just kind of like,
he looks worried,
Oh.
but he looks.
what do I do?
Mhm.
Oh God.
Yeah, he can't do a thing. So now he's captured. Now he's like in a room in a cell, like he's in a cell within a cell, and that's how big of a deal this is. And so Ahsoka's like all like, all right, we did our job, hell yeah, everybody's all happy. But she's like feeling weird. She's like, something's off, like something's really off. And then all of a sudden, both of them, they're in hyperspace and warp speed,
And
whatever. You
At
wanna
this
call
point,
it.
Anakin is just crying in the Jedi Council chamber, looking at Palpatine's apartment or whatever. I know he's looking at Padme at this point. He's
No.
looking at Padme's apartment.
So
No,
what
he's-
happens?
he's-
Revenge of the
he's-
Sith
this is
happening.
actually-
Revenge of the Sith is happening right now. It's happening right now.
Yeah, but you're on the wrong part.
Are you
What's
sure?
happened? We hear it.
Are you
No,
sure?
he's killed. He's
Yes.
killed Mace by this point.
No,
he
we hear
he
him
has
kill
not.
Mace.
He has not yet. You hear what's happening when she gets when she feels a shift in the Force, and then you hear
Yes.
Palpatine. He's like, "You must choose," and he's like, he must live."
No, yeah,
I
we
need
hear
him.
that
I
scene.
need him. You can hear it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're off because he's not crying in the thing. That's later on down the line.
No,
This
no,
is
no, no,
him
no, I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop you.
beforehand.
I'm gonna stop you right now. He is conflicted in the Jedi Council chamber at this
Yep.
point because Mace is like, "I want
Yeah.
you to stay here and
You
just
stay
wait
here,
for
you'll be
me."
my bestest
and-
boy forever.
Yeah, stay here, wait for me,
Yeah.
and if the information you told me is true, Skywalker, I will trust you because your entire life I fucking hated you because I wanted to be the chosen one. You became the chosen one out of prophecy, and I'm jealous, and I'm Sam Jackson. Okay, and and then Anakin was like, "Yes, Master." Okay, so he goes and he sits in the Jedi Council chamber while Mace is doing his thing, and he and
Yep.
you know, fights Sidious, and he's just kind of sitting there, and then he just stands up and looks at Padme's apartment complex, and she's looking at him, and he's just crying because he's inner conflicted, and he knows like I need to do something. Okay, that's what's happening while they're flying. While they're flying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but at the point where we're at
I'm
now,
good. Jaden agrees. I'm good.
at the point we are at now, where she starts feeling weird, is the fight that he's already in the room. We hear it when she starts feeling weird because she starts losing her balance.
She feels weird when Anakin is there and he's just like watching them getting shocked and shit.
Yeah.
But this is
that's what I'm saying.
And what I'm saying is what happens before that. When he's traveling to when he's crying and shit, looking at Padme, and then he's like, all right, I'm gonna go on the ship and I'm gonna see what's going on.
That's when they're loading up Maul and they're about to take off.
Yeah, all that is happening at that point. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I was just saying that where I was talking about in the timeline, you were way before. I already passed that.
Jaden, this happens to us all the time.
So she's feeling weird. We overhear Palpatine and he's looking at his watch. Jaden, what the fuck? So we overhear the whole sequence, and she's like got a headache all of a sudden. She's like, oh shit. And we see Maul's like little zoom in on his cell, and then all of a sudden we hear execute Order 66. And the thing is like Maul, you could tell Maul is freaking out. Yeah, Maul is in there, and we get that close up of Maul, and he's just like clearly like, oh shit, he can sense it too. So he senses it, Ahsoka senses it right away. Then Order 66 gets called, and then they both sense everything that starts happening around Order 66, and we overhear Rex saying, yes, yes, Chancellor, and you're like,
so just quick fucking tangent here. I just got to get this out. Who do you think warranted a direct phone call from Palpatine, and who just got the fucking voicemail? Because like there's no way he could call every single clone commander throughout the galaxy. Like who do you?
No, I think it was a mass dial.
Because we see him.
Okay, wait.
Jaden, like he says, like Commander Cody, the time has come. Like he clearly talks to Yoda's guy. So it's like, so who warranted a phone call in this scenario?
I thought he just hit reply all.
No, because
I just saw reply all
personally.
Yeah.
I think it's because they're the commanding officers, but I also always had this sort of headcanon thing where there was like a little button under his desk that he also presses that
what's I'm saying?
Activates their inhibitor.
There's gotta be one.
Well, yes,
be like he's gotta do like there's gotta be like, all right, I've called all the commanders of the Jedi Council, and now execute Order 66. All right, that's done. Anyways,
that's kind of how I feel like it. I think it was he hit reply all on everybody except the Jedi Council. He did that one specifically like himself. He called each one like separately to make sure that they got it because he wanted to kill the council specifically. That was important.
Oh, yeah.
Does that make sense?
That does.
Because I think he replied all for everybody else, but I think the council got it. Got the personal touch.
Quinlan Voss didn't deserve a direct report. He just got an email.
Yeah.
I don't even think Quinlan Voss was on the council.
That's what I'm saying. No, he wasn't on the council. He doesn't get a direct report.
That's what we're saying. The council were the ones that got the private message, and then all the other Jedis got a mass reply all. That was it.
Something in my email. Murder, boss.
Could you imagine somebody if it actually was an email and then people start sending those stupid fucking gifs like, please don't attach me to this email, and then it's like, really, bro, you had to hit reply all? It's like, I hated that. That happens all the time at my old job and now my new job. It's so annoying, bro. Don't hit reply all.
Agreed.
Anyway,
I will say this.
Yeah,
the clones are running around. Maul's on the list. They're very much like, do we kill this guy? Like, yeah, I mean, he's Jedi-ish. Let's just get rid of him too.
Yeah, so Ahsoka and Maul are on the list, and it's almost like it's directed also towards a lot of Force users too, not just Jedi. But of course, we do see that later down the line, Rex tries to like switch that up a little bit. But so basically Ahsoka is like, I gotta get the fuck out of here, and I need a distraction. I have the perfect distraction, the
angry
perfect
distraction.
chaos. Yeah, the perfect chaos. And she lets Maul out, and he's like, are you gonna join me now? Did you feel that too? I felt it. What the hell's happening? Let me tell you. And he's like, the Jedi lost, basically. And she's like, okay, yeah, I do feel that. He's like, all right, so you're gonna join me? And she's like, no, you're my distraction. And he's like, huh? And she's like, yeah, you're gonna be my distraction so I can leave. And he's like, all right, well, give me something. Give me a lightsaber, or give me like
You have to give me a
blaster." And she's
fighting
like,
chance. And he holds out his
Yeah, and she
hand
looks
like,
at
can
him
I
and she's
just use
like-
one of your lightsabers, please? She's like, I'm not rooting for you,
and she looks at him and
asshole.
she's like,
Yeah.
Go and cause some chaos.
No.
Go kill my
Yeah.
friends, but I'm gonna make it easier for them to kill you, maybe.
Yeah. She's like, nah, bro, get the fuck out of here and distract. I don't care if you live. I don't care if you die. Just distract everybody for me. So
Well, she obviously
he's like,
cares
all
a lot
right.
at the very end when she's trying to stop him
Well, yeah.
from leaving.
And so basically, yeah, I would say, I mean, Jaden, I know you thought it was a badass hallway scene. Kevin, I know you love the
Dude,
hallway
that hallway
scene,
scene
specifically 'cause
was
it's a-
like his Vader scene from Rogue One, basically.
Everybody
When
gets
he
a
holds up
everybody
the
gets a
two
hallway
panels.
scene now, and every one of them has been good.
Yeah, more hallway scenes, please. We need like a hallway scene collaboration. We need a separate Disney Plus Star Wars tab just as
The
hallway
hallway
scenes.
scene episodes.
all the hallway scenes just together.
Dude, Mando's got like 6 at this point.
Yeah.
We need like a Daredevil season 1 like fight scene.
Oh
Just
yeah,
continuous-
like a
continuous,
one-shot.
but just with lightsabers. And I swear, okay, Tom Cruise. I hope that's you.
shot
I
one.
hope you choreographed that in the freaking Starfighter show. I mean movie. It's a movie, right? Yeah, it's a movie.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
movie. Yeah. But the hallway scene's cool because he uses like the door from, I think it's the door from his is it the door from his little
No, he
prison
just rips
thing, or
panels
is it-
off of
Yeah,
the
wall
wall.
panels off.
That's
He
right.
just rips them off
Yeah,
and then just
he's-
holds
he's
them in front of
ripping wall
himself.
panels.
Oh, by the way, this was I'm backtracking here, because you mentioned his little prison, his little Mandalorian prison.
Yeah.
Darth Vader was known for using telekinesis, which meant he could just use the Force by just thinking about it. And it's shown in the OT trilogy, and it's canon. So if he was in this prison, couldn't he just like use telekinesis, or is that Mandalorian material that the jail that jail block is made out of that he's in? Is it like Force retardant or something? Is it like, does it like repel?
It's a dampener,
dampen
yeah.
the
It's a
Force
force
abilities?
dampener.
Well,
I think
don't
I
they-
think it's
don't
because
they
it's
imply
specifically from the
Beskar's,
Jedi
like,
Mandalorian War.
Low key, a little bit anti Jedi ish.
I don't think so.
Well, yeah, it was made during the Mandalorian War with the Jedi, so it's specifically, and it's Mandalorian specific. It was made to house Jedi.
Yeah, but back to Jaden when he's asking about Beskar being like Force repellent. I don't think at all it has any sort of repellent properties to repel Force abilities.
It might like to Kevin's point, it might just be like that particular Beskar coffin might have some anti.
It's a dampener.
It's got Ysalamiri blood on the inside of
Yeah.
it, so like that's we're good, you know.
Yeah, but then you can make the argument like this is off Maul, but like still, it's just that always bothered me when like Jedi are like restrained and shit somewhere. It's like they can't just use the Force. But in other media, we've seen them using the Force, like in Skeleton Crew, with that asshole pirate guy. He just like
Captain
uses the Force
Solo.
with the keys.
Mhm.
Yeah, but like again, when Obi-Wan is like being held by Dooku, he's just floating. Can't just use the Force. His hands are right here.
No,
like,
well,
can't
what,
just-
hold on. What Obi-Wan was being held in
Ray shield.
was a specific ray shield that dampens their Force abilities. It's the same
Oh,
thing.
was he? Okay.
Like this.
thought he was
This
just
is something that dampens their.
With cuffs on.
Yeah, no, this is something that dampens their ability to use the Force.
Okay. I didn't even really know that
So
was even
it-
a thing
yeah.
in Star Wars.
Yeah,
I just
ratio-
thought it
that's
was-
why-
I thought it was a choice. They
That's
just,
why, like, when
choose not to do
Obi-Wan
it.
and Anakin are captured on the Grievous' ship, they're like ray shields. Like, ah, man, like they
They can't do
ray shields.
anything.
I guess don't
I thought they were saying like, oh man, we can't just slice our way through this because ray shields.
Well, that's
Well, they could.
so that's why they cut out. That's why they cut out that scene, by the way, that they had of like Grievous killing Shaak Ti and then them cutting through the floor because they had a ray shield.
And then they go
later,
into
and
they go into the fuel room. They go into like, the fuel section.
They
of
were
the
like,
ship.
why didn't they
That
just
was
do
an
that
awesome
again?
scene. They should've
That was a
kept
great
shit
scene,
in.
but like, why couldn't they do that if they were under ray shields? That's why they cut it.
Yeah. Also, I just want to point this out. George Lucas hates Shaak Ti. He kills him like a ton of times.
Yeah.
in the deleted scenes, but then he makes her death canon because before all this shit happens, Obi-Wan tells Ahsoka that Shaak Ti has been sent to go and rescue Sidious, but Sidious, Palpatine at this point, the Senator Palpatine, but they haven't heard back from her, so she's fucking dead. Grievous executed her. So that deleted scene is now canon. When he just stabs her in the back, and then Anakin was like, "That was a bad," and then everyone's like, "Mistake." That's canon. All that shit is canon. It's not deleted scene.
The dialogue, the George Lucas dialogue.
No, but I love that they finish each other's sentences. Okay, they're meant for each other. Okay.
Remember the stupid mustache twirl thing that they're like, "We're so in sync with battle, we know we can communicate through emotions."
I love that scene when Anakin was talking to R2. And he's just like, up means up.
Yeah, he's like doing the whistles.
With his face. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, back to Maul. We're going on that stupid ass tangent thing.
Yeah, so he's got this badass hallway scene, and he like cuts off an arm and everything. He's like, it's cool. He like does all this crazy shit. And he cuts off this dude's arm.
With the door.
Like,
with the door. Don't forget that.
Yeah, with the
Force
door.
pulls his arm and the door closes on him, and he uses
Yep.
the communicator to listen to all the crazy shit happening. He's a genius tactician, like I said in the last podcast.
Yeah.
He's a genius.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. And what's funny is, so like, he's making his way through the ship, and Ahsoka gets a ship ready to go to escape, all this shit, and Maul just shows up, and he's like, "You wanted chaos? Here's some chaos," and he throws her out of the way of the ship with Rex, who now is sane, and steals her ship. And she tries to stop it, like Anakin, force pulls, like in the Obi-Wan show, and like Starkiller and all that. Like she tries to hold the ship, and he's like, "Oh, come on, let me go. And then she just gives. She can't hold it. And
it's not that she
can't
hold it. She had to choose between stopping Maul from leaving and saving Rex because he was getting shot up. Like he couldn't hold his own.
Yep.
Also, like another thing, I was very sad about the droids. The droids were just so cool, and they had to just die.
Yeah.
They got executed.
Dude, that was crazy.
What? He just had his hands up, like, "Wait, don't
Yeah,
kill me!" I was so upset. I was like, they're like, droids are just like so fucking nice. Like they don't deserve that kind of shit.
You will. I mean, Kev, I know you kind of know this, but like Jaden and I, we have a very big soft spot for droids.
I listened to your
love our
whole
droid.
episode before I was even involved about the droid stuff.
We love.
And
droids.
in the EU,
Droids
there was
are
a whole droid rebellion because of it. One of the HK
Yeah.
droids was like,
Yeah.
"Fuck this shit, fuck these humans, Skynet it all."
It's like the Star Trek. I'll bring it in. I'm bringing it in. Star Trek.
Hell yeah.
Droid
Star
like
Trek.
android war. Like
Yeah.
it's similar.
Yep.
So, but anyway, so yes, he escapes, and we see him when he left the planet, when he was like leaving. By the way, when he was leaving Mandalore and stuff, he did instruct all of his crime syndicate to go underground, and he said, "Go hide. I'll be in touch." So he's still in charge of this crime syndicate, and then he bounces and dips.
I wouldn't say
and escapes.
I wouldn't say he's in charge. I'd say more like he's like they're like all his benefactors basically, right? And
Well, I mean, that's
he's talking to the leaders of different syndicates to go into hiding.
Yeah, but he's still in charge of those
'cause
syndicates.
It's like
Is he in
Crimson
charge,
Dawn.
or is he more like
No, because he's telling them all to go
Partner,
underground.
like a
Because it's
partner.
Crimson Dawn. It's
Black
I mean,
Sun?
he is literally called the Shadow Lord.
Yeah, well yes. You're right. In the show,
He's
yeah.
in charge of them
He
all.
talks to
So
he talks to the
basically,
Pikes, he talks to Crimson Dawn and Black Sun.
yep.
He doesn't
Yep.
talk to Jabba
Yep.
though. I don't think.
well, he's not in charge of Jabba.
I don't
Jabba. So in the when
Yeah.
they fight with
Huts,
the
no.
Huts were like, we agree to work with you. They never submitted to Maul.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
never.
And Hondo was
They
like,
don't
"Fuck
submit.
you, we're not gonna." Work
Yeah,
with you either."
like there's
Yeah.
always been resistance to Maul. Dude, I'll tell you what though, those filthy pikes, they would sign up with Maul. They don't care.
No, they don't give a shit. Them and their weird ass fucking triangle
Another
things.
side tangent. I love how everyone who played Star Wars Outlaws, all 6 of them, were like, "Hey man, we don't like the pikes."
You wait. How is Outlaws? Is it good? Because I was
I
thinking
don't
about
know.
it.
I've never played it.
Oh,
I haven't touched it.
I played a demo of
I
it
haven't
and it
touched
was
it.
decent, but
I will be getting it
Yep.
when it's on sale because I'm not paying full price.
If you were one of the
It's
6
just
people
not
that played
happening.
Outlaws, please let us know in the comments.
Yeah, I'm curious. What do you think?
yeah. Glory to Ubisoft.
So basically, yeah. So he's out. He escapes, and that's the end for season 7 for Maul. And then that will lead into
Shadow Lord.
the current show about to come out. So, yeah, folks, that is it. That's season 7. That's Clone Wars of Maul for you. I thought it was done pretty
Oh,
well
yeah.
overall. Actually, I wish there was more of it, but I
Well,
actually
your
did
wish was
think
granted
overall
because
it was
that's
done
what
pretty
that's
well.
what the next show is.
Holy shit! Wow, thanks, Dave
Thanks,
Filoni.
Dave.
I actually, well, here's the thing. When Maul left, right? And this is just me nitpicking, but I kind of wanted to see where he ended up. Just to know where he landed. I want to know like where he landed.
I have a feeling we're gonna see that.
Do you think that Shadow Lord is just gonna like take place right after season 7? It just shows him coming out of hyperspace to a planet.
I think
he lands there.
it's gonna do like kind of almost like Tales, where like there's 1 or 2 episodes that are linked, and then there's another 2 episodes that are linked at like a later time frame, and then like I think they're gonna do like 2 to 3 episode little snippets of timeline, like condensed stories, you know, and then it's just gonna be like, here's what you got to know about Maul being what he did, and then you can tag on the Han Solo little scene, and it's like, there you go. So, but I do think, I mean, I think bringing him back was a pretty big story element and a risk, right? Like here's like the first major villain fighter that we see designed. Like he's fucking crazy looking. He literally looks like a demon, like all this shit. And they were defeated in the first movie of the new generation. Oh shit, that's crazy. And then here they are years later, and they're like, let's bring him back. I think that was a pretty bold and like risk-taking move storytelling wise, and it clearly, I mean, obviously we know Rebels, we know when he dies and all that stuff, but I think that was a pretty big choice, and I think it paid off. I think it was a risk that paid off.
Well, also, well, you said it was a big risk. Yes, I agree with you, but I also agree with George's vision of there's more to be told in this story.
Yeah.
Him and
Yeah.
Dave, because I
Oh,
know
yeah.
they both talked about it, obviously, at this point, because Disney wasn't even involved.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know, we barely got to know him, really. I mean, there was like some comics about him, but like, you know, the love for Darth Maul was so strong because like he didn't say anything stupid or controversial in episode 1. It was like everyone else who was saying weird, stupid shit, and more people were just hating on Jar Jar, honestly, at that point, more than Maul. Maul, like Kylo Ren, was like the only good thing about episode 1. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, think about it like this. Think about all the cool lore that comes out of that one character. You make one character, and then you link that character to like the Witches of Dathomir. Now you get all this backstory that like just floods through all these characters, all these new things that you can go off of. That's kind of one of the things about Star Wars storytelling that's really cool, is the fact that you can have one character and you can have like a shit ton of lore, and they could be like the most basic character, like random person. I mean, I personally think that mimics life, like, right? Like everybody has their own story, and everybody really is the main character of their own story in their own book, right? And that's one of the things some people do complain about in Star Wars. Like, why does every character have to be connected? I don't think every character has to be connected, but I do think it's really fun to explore as many characters as you want, because
why not?
you really do
Yeah.
have that ability to
Yeah.
just like, and it can connect in other ways, right? Like, we don't have to have Maul meet Luke Skywalker, but Luke Skywalker is now dealing with Witches of Dathomir, and we know about Witches of Dathomir and all this other stuff because Maul was introduced, and and like it's all connected, and it's really cool to like build that world or universe. I don't know. I'm tangenting right now on like storytelling, dynamics and storytelling, tactics, but like it's fucking cool.
I want to know more about Babu Freak from the sequel trilogy. The guy who's like, ha ha, hey! He's just like fixing freaking joints. I love that guy. He
Let's see
made
how
me
many
smile.
Wikipedia articles
And
we
he
can
made
get
me
out of him.
smile in a movie just stewed in shit. I was like, I love Babu Freak. Okay, he's what
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah.
I want to have what he's having in the theater right.
He's clearly enjoying the movie that he is in, and I wish I was watching that movie.
Yeah,
Right.
I want to be Babu Freak every day of my life, guys.
All right. Well, on that note, I mean, do you guys
I
have
think that's
anything
it,
else?
man. Let's wrap this thing up.
How do you guys think? Like, do you guys think that they handled it well, like bringing him in and
Yeah,
how it
I
ended
think-
with like, coupling him with Order
I think
66?
in terms of like, hey, let's just fuck it. People can not die in Star Wars, and it's fine. Like we made a cool character. Let's let him explore his cool side.
Yeah, and to be fair, like when I was talking about the comic before, it's like I think this was like Dave's way of saying like, hey, like sorry, we just sorry we couldn't give you what you wanted because of the merger, because of Disney. So
Yeah,
this is our way of saying like, okay, like we know not everybody reads comics. The ones who did, I mean, I don't really read comics. To be fair, I'm gonna be straight up here, even though I have Star Wars Infinities on my shelf. I'm much of a skimmer, but like I know enough to carry a conversation about it. But like, like the fact that Dave even gave us that sort of closure with Maul, and that he's such a he's such a storytelling genius where he could just immediately just pick things up where they left off like so many years ago and be like, oh wait a minute, we have Maul. Because like if you just imagine for a second they're just sitting in the production room and they're just brainstorming like, how are we gonna do season 6? I'm sorry, season 6, season 7. How are we gonna wrap up people's stories in this portion of their lives in this era of Star Wars? And then imagine if they just like forgot to include Maul because like that was so long ago, and then Dave's just like, wait a minute, wait, no, go back. We need to close out Maul. And they're just like, oh yeah, that's right, yeah, he was in the comic no one read, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, we can't have a men like that. We gotta show him on screen. We gotta give the fans what they want. And I'm just like, hell yes, Dave. And now that he's co-president with some other woman I don't even know about, I have no clue what her history is, but I'm hoping him and her are gonna be like,
So from what I've been seeing,
it's not gonna be like oil and water. It's gonna be like
yeah.
just
Apparently,
water.
it's like he's in charge of creative, she's in charge of like logistics of the company, which I'm like, that's perfect. Like that takes the issues like Dave's biggest like problems of not having the logistics figured out. Like now you can just focus on creating the story.
Yeah, she just trusts him.
Yeah.
She's just like, make it happen. You're a legend. You've done it since 2000 and
here's the
I don't know,
budget.
whatever.
You do what you can with the budget.
Yeah.
And also I think that in terms of the way Disney is run, I feel like Disney has been more willing to take more risks in the animated world of Star Wars more than the live action world because of money.
Well, it's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
Yeah.
And you could also like do things in animation you really can't do in live action. I mean, I guess you could do it with the way technology is now, but it would feel wrong,
Yeah.
like when like animes or cartoons being translated into live action, it just doesn't hit the same. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. No, you're right.
So yeah, I'm if you guys haven't noticed, I'm a huge Dave fanboy. So I can go on.
We are
right
too.
in here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's I think that's really all I have to say about Maul. Yeah,
Nice.
I'm very happy. I can't wait.
Jaden, you want to take us out?
I was gonna have you do it.
Oh, okay. I'll do it.
I want to do it.
And
wanna
with
do it.
that,
Hey,
Oh.
see you later.
He's a totalitarian.
Subscribe.
well, on that note, thank you very much for listening. Again, you can check us out on all your socials at The Lost Cantina. You can email us at thelostcantinapod@gmail.com. And, like and subscribe, review us. It helps us grow the show. It helps us get to know people. And we're looking forward to talking more about Maul when the show drops. So thank you for listening, and we will catch you on the next one.
Kevin's out and Jaden.